Orcinus orca, or killer whales of the Sonic universe, seem to have a bone to pick with our anthropomorphic hero. In all their on-screen appearances, for reasons unknown, they run amok, rampaging across the coastline in pursuit of the blue blur, leaving a series of splintered boardwalks and terrified players in their wake. But what exactly causes this violent and erratic behavior towards Sonic? I am the Sega Scourge, the Sonic Theorist, tackling 25 years of classic and modern Sonic alike. Let's find out.
Theorist.
Now before we continue, I'd like to point out that not all whales seem to have it out for our hero Sonic. The humpback whales seen in Sonic Unleashed's Cool Edge Day were extremely docile towards the hedgehog. One of them went so far as to let him ride along its back in a bobsleigh. The only whales that seem to display any kind of hostility are those of the killer variety. Killer whales, or orcas, have made 3 appearances throughout the Sonic canon. The first and most memorable was that of Emerald Coast from Sonic Adventure, then Seaside Hill from Heroes, and lastly Wave Ocean from Sonic 06, not counting their appearances in Generations or other spin-off games. The 2 encounters I want to focus on firstly are those from Sonic Adventure and 06, as those 2 attacks share so much in common, and what I have is a clear-as-daylight theory that would explain the whale's outbursts. However, before that, the first aspect we need to look at to establish this theory is what would cause these killer whales to attack in the first place. The most common and obvious answer is that they're doing it for the purpose of food. But unfortunately, that theory presents an almost immediate problem. Killer whales typically, almost always, hunt together. Of course, killer whales hunt in lots of different ways depending on the food that they're after, but there is one thing in common about all these hunts, and that is that they always hunt in groups in a very coordinated manner. Yes, I am aware that in Wave Ocean there were very clearly more than one whale, possibly 3 or 4. But it seems as though only one was moving in to attack, which shouldn't be the case. Let me give you an example. Let's imagine, for instance, there's a small colony of sea lions huddled on an iceberg. A nearby pod would commonly scout them out before moving in with perfect swimming synchronization, and using their sheer body mass and movements of their tails, they'd create a wave large enough to wash the sea lions off the ice mass and into the water, where they'll ultimately fall victim to these apex predators. They are remarkably skilled creatures. They've even been known to go so far as to beach themselves in order to collar their unsuspecting prey. In some regard, the level of determination and tactics they display could be considered akin to their behavior in the Sonic universe. Bear in mind, of course, the aforementioned hunting tactics are far more smart compared to that of hunting your prey by running face first into a series of rocks and boardwalks. No such thing would happen in real life, of course. It's merely an over-the-top element added to their video game counterparts. So the question remains, what would cause an orca in Sonic to attack so suddenly, so sporadically, and on its own no less? Well, a far more likely answer is that the killer whales seen in both Emerald Coast and Wave Ocean are being held in captivity. Orcas are not commonly considered a threat to humans, except those kept in public aquariums and aquatic theme parks. Captive orcas have always been known to be increasingly unpredictable, becoming aggressive, lunging, and snapping at their trainers. Many cases of hostility from captive orcas towards humans have been documented over the years, and there have been 151 fatal and non-fatal incidents since 1967. And to showcase how this captivity theory matches the in-game of Sonic, let's not forget that the area surrounding the orcas seen in Sonic 06 had a switch-operated gate that Tails used to trap the creatures while Sonic hung onto one of the whale's dorsal fins. Why would there be a gate at all? The whales may have been going wild because they wanted to escape. Yes, that's right, Sonic and Tails may have just unwittingly contributed to whale captivity. And those whales may very well be a later attraction, used either to celebrate the Soliana Sun Festival or for an upcoming marine park in the new city. We can't say for sure. And to add one more piece of crucial evidence to my theory, the orcas in Seaside Hill from Sonic Heroes are vastly different from their other appearances in the series. They're oddly docile, going so far as to help Sonic in the Generations version of the level, because these whales aren't being held against their will. They are left to roam freely. Killer whales are also highly adaptable to any location they so choose. So that explains why the whales of Seaside Hill are thriving, although perhaps the reason is that they've simply found a more abundant source of food. Come to think of it, what's with all those odd whale statues throughout Ocean Palace? I may have to return to this one. What do you guys think? Nevertheless, I'm 100% certain that the Orcas of the Sonic U are almost undoubtedly attacking Sonic due to stress and not hunger. But my theory as to the cause of their stress is for you to decide upon. But if my theory is right, I think perhaps Sonic should get back to doing what he does best: rescuing some animals.
So what do you guys think about this theory? I'd say the Orcas are pretty misunderstood if you ask me. Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please show the channel some love by dropping a like and subscribing for more Sonic Theorist videos. Also, in case you missed it, go check out the previous episode where we discussed the possibility of native inhabitants on Sonic's well-known South Island. Many more baffling and engaging videos are coming very soon, so stay tuned. From me, the Sega Scourge, the Sonic Theorist, thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.